back again. Thursday, March 28th, 2024, in another lovely western North Carolina creek bottom, early morning, hunting morels. And there is flood damage to this area like the others I was hunting in the last video, but it doesn't look as severe. I haven't spotted any yet, but let's go up in here and see what might be growing. Moving through, and I have not seen much yet, which is a little disappointing because typically in this spot I have found them in the past. The floodwaters seem to have really washed over, and there's tons of leaves and debris in deep piles, which maybe there's mushrooms under there. I don't tend to really try to dig under things too much, but as I look over here, here's one. And boy, when they grow up underneath this type of grass that's dead and washed over, they're even harder to see than normal. So I'm going to be moving extra slow this morning. And looks like they're still a little bit young too. So a little early in the season still. Although there are big fruits as well, as you saw in my last video. But it's an interesting little mushroom. Well, we will continue on and see what we can find. It's funny, the longer you do this, the more good you get at spotting them, the more you actually become a little less acute at spending your time really scouring an area. And if you are not a patient person, morels will teach you the art of patience and how to be a keen observer. So looking at this, I don't really see anything, but it's real easy to be like, I don't see anything, I'm gonna move on. Well, slow down, zoom in. Now do I see anything? No? Zoom in some more. Now do I see anything? Zoom in some more. They're here. If you're in the right habitat, they are likely to be there. If you're not finding them, it's probably because you're just not taking enough time to really observe. Observational skills only come from practice, and even after decades of looking for them, I have a tendency to really not be slow enough. I want to get to all the spots, but you find way more if you'll just stop, crouch down, look across the ground, start very close to your feet, and scan very slowly back and forth, each time looking a couple feet further. It's very hard to do this if you are not used to spending time sitting still. We really don't sit still much these days, and the real way to find morels is to move slower, not faster. Continuing to move through this area and slowing down because I was moving way too fast. And as I slow down, what do you know? I see this one, and then I look down where I just walked through. Like, I literally just walked through here, and there's some twins, And I spotted another one a second ago that has now disappeared from me, but they are all around. And the point of my last ramble is just that if you've hunted lots and lots of areas that you feel look perfect, there's another one right there hiding. It's highly likely that the issue is not that there's another one. It's not that you are not in the right spots, it's that your technique is lacking because you may be too eager to move. Their camouflage is extremely good. I took a friend out a couple weeks ago. It was very early. I did find one, but he was saying, there's that one I spotted back there somewhere. You might be able to see it. It's a big one. But when I showed him one, he said, I would have never seen that. And until you do see them, you don't have a point of reference. And so when you see people posting online or something, it's very misleading because those people have honed their skills, but also they have probably spent many, many hours collecting whatever it is that you see. So very important to slow down, hone your skills. They're not going anywhere. The mushrooms are where they're going to be, and it's really easy to walk right past them. And these are not huge yet, but they're really fresh and nice, and I will actually have these available on Saturday, which will be the 30th, and the day before Easter I will have them available at the Toasty Farmers Market in Greenville, South Carolina, at Fire Forge Brewery. If anyone watching happens to be in the area and wants to talk mushrooms or get a hold of some morels for your Easter meal, come see me. A nice little haul from one little spot. Just had to slow down. Still moving through this same little area, and here amongst these privets, these are kind of dead and dying privets. Here's a few more. Still kind of young, but beautiful and fresh, and definitely mature enough for me to bring with me. And for anyone in the upstate of South Carolina, if you're interested in learning some things about foraging, I'll be teaching a class on April 4th at Farm Fair Local Grocery, which is in Pauline, South Carolina. If you just Google search Farm Fair Local Grocery, you will find their website and tickets available. It'll be a small group, and I will be profiling 10 to 12 edible species of mushrooms for our area to try to set people up for success in the coming year. It's mostly a beginner's class, but if there are any seasoned foragers, I would hope that you might gain some insights into my own thoughts. It always helps me to talk to other people. So anyway, if you're in the area, come on out. So while the flooding seems to have had a bad impact on some areas, I'm beginning to think it may have had a positive impact on others, because this is an area that's usually so choked out I have searched it, but I've never really found anything. But as I'm walking by, I mean, I'm seeing some nice large fruits popping off back here, and normally this thicket is impossible to really get into, and I've never found anything in here despite fighting my way into it. But it seems like where there has not been as much deposits of silt, there are some nice fruits popping back here, and I spotted one a second ago. I see it. So the floodwaters really scoured this but did not deposit silt, and they actually kind of cleaned this area up. And boy, what a nice surprise. A whole new spot. This is another thing. As you get to where you have places that produce for you, it's pretty easy to become complacent and just rely on those and forget that there may be lots of places that you have nearby that just you're ignoring. Just because you find spots that work for you doesn't mean you should not always check others. Oh, and I see some more back here. Wow. This is going to be a really good producing thicket this year. A pleasant surprise. And it's a little easier to move through. I'm not having to crawl on my belly right at the moment, although I'm sure that's coming. What a great little area. Wow. Take these back to my basket, and I'm gonna thoroughly hunt this thicket. I was just gonna walk on past this, but those few peeking out at the edge drew me in. This could be the best producing spot of the day, actually. I hope not. I hope I have a full basket by the end of the day, but I see more all back in there. Man, yeah. Let's get our basket and check this spot out. This spot where I've never found a single mushroom, even though I have looked, it is proving to be absolutely amazing. Lots of big blonde or yellow, whatever you want to call them, Morchella americana. Man, only 4 right here, but I mean, I've already picked quite a few. This is a great patch. Love finding new spots, man. This is the kind of stuff I live for. And I hope all of you are getting out and enjoying wherever you are. If you're here in the southeast, I hope you're out hunting for these right now, because whether you know it or not, time is fleeting when it comes to these mushrooms. And another few weeks in any given location at my elevation, which is 900 feet, these will be done. very ephemeral. You really have to get out when they're going. That's one of the mistakes people make, is reading literature that tells you that they fruit for a period of time and they list several months. That is not the case. I find that they fruit according to conditions being perfect, and in any given location you have like 4, maybe 6 weeks if you're very lucky, but that's it. And when they're done for the year. So get out now. If you are in the Piedmont or foothills of the Carolinas, it's on. I think I see some really nice ones. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Once again, this is privet. I'm surrounded by various hardwood trees. There's birch, which I don't really know of it being an associate, but poplars are all behind me. More huge poplars over there. That's what I assume. Although, you know, in my experience, they're so close to the privet, it really makes me wonder if they may associate with English privet, even though it is an invasive. It may just be a mycorrhizal species. I don't know. I don't know if privet has ectomycorrhizal nodes on its roots, but they sure do seem to like it. So, whatever the reason, it's pretty much the most significant plant in my locale for finding them. More so even than poplar trees, although it's the privet also underneath the poplar canopy that seems to produce these great flushes like this. Another nice little stack for the basket. And let's move on. Well, guys, it has been another great foray. I am headed home with a nice amount of beautiful fresh morels, and I appreciate everybody, new and old, checking out my videos. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're into mushroom related content, and I will see you all on the next one.